My name is Charles Dickinson from Cathedral Pipes Microphones. So we're mostly a high-end studio line of microphones based here in Orange County. Everything's made in the U.S., including the transducer capsule, which I make myself. It's based on a Neumann M7 capsule. And the circuit itself is based on a U47 meets a U67 design. So basically I've taken the capsule from the U47 and the transformer from the U47 and the tube from the U67, because the U47 tubes are pretty much impossible to get these days. This is our top line microphone, and the Cadillac kind of design. The grill gives you more of an open feel to it. A few voiceover guys have purchased this one already, and they speak pretty highly about it. It's very neutral, keeps that bottom end, and kind of gives you that girth that you really want.
Tube microphones are kind of known to be not the quietest microphones. How does it do on self-noise?
This one, the PF86, is the EF86 tube, but it was spec'd by the German military to have a lower heater voltage. So it's a 4.5 voltage instead of 6.3. That makes a little bit of a difference in noise. The good capacitors that I use also, good coupling capacitors are going to make a difference in both your power supply and in your microphone. So that's going to cut down noise. The third aspect is this cable that we make ourselves. It's a custom OCC copper cable, which stands for Ono Continuous Casting, developed by this really genius Japanese guy, Dr. Ono. It's a long crystal, single molecule, they call it, copper wire. Really has no loss, very clean. So those things in themselves will cut down on your noise.
Do you have a particular microphone preamp you really love using it with, or does it just obviously work with a wide variety of preamps really well?
So on the preamp side of things, now that's really subjective to the user. Right now, we have this little test setup, and we've chosen some warm audio, which is just an API 312 clone, really. And beside that, we have the red and the blue, which are from Chandler. I really like that Chandler Germanium, which is the blue one I'm going through right now. Some people like the API 312, that whole LA recording sound. I'm more of a rock guy myself, so I like that Germanium pre. It gives me a little bit of dirt to my voice, but the 312 is more pristine and more clean. So both of those I really like, but there are a ton out there. Really like the Portico series by Rupert Neve. I like the AMS Neve. Gosh, I can't think of any more off the top of my head, but there are a ton, just a ton. And also you have to keep in mind the converters as well on the other side of that. The preamp and then the converters, especially if you're doing this in commercial applications. Those converters need to be really top notch. And that's a whole other market. Okay, these things, this is called a Durham. And basically, if you want to point over here, it's the active circuit that I put into my ribbon microphone. Now, this is an active ribbon, and a ribbon usually is just a ribbon and a transformer. But the trouble with that is, depending on what you plug it into, it sounds different because of the impedance mismatch. So, what people have done is they put a little active buffer in it. It gives you a boost, better signal to noise ratio, and it gives you the same impedance every time. And it dawned on me, why don't I take that out of there and put it in there and put a bunch of connectors on it? Then people can use it with whatever. And right away, people picked up on it and said, oh man, I put this on my SM7, made it louder, the noise floor was really low and really usable. So, you can make a drum kit with a bunch of dynamic microphones with it, or you could just use it on a crappy passive ribbon microphone. And it's going to give you that, depending on the phantom power, because it runs on phantom power, depending on the quality of your phantom power, it'll give you anywhere from 18 to 25 dB of boost. Really, I price my items based solely on the parts, not based on, how much is retail going to mark it up by. So it's really hard to get into retailer distribution because they're going to want a pretty big size of that pie. And when the pie is just based on the parts, well, what am I going to do? Subtract parts? It doesn't make sense. These are $65.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.